So I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I'm James Lott Jr. This is a lot of help with James Lott Jr. on JLJ Media. I'm a life coach and I have clients and we're doing great and stuff. But in my regular life, I'm having to manage people's personalities and things also at the same time. And this is something that I was dealing with yesterday, actually, as I'm recording this. I didn't know this yesterday with a longtime friend. And it brought up all this stuff for me that I've been dealing with for the last 6, 7 months. Here we go. I've always talked about this on other shows. I really believe this very much that you have to meet people where they are in life. A lot of times we come in with our own stuff. I'm guilty of it too. We come in and have our things, our lives, and what we want, and all that stuff. And we meet someone else, or we're friends with somebody else, or we're in a relationship with somebody else. Um, we're trying to give it all, we're giving it to them. We want them to give us back certain things at that time. And sometimes they can't, or sometimes they don't want you, or sometimes they're not there. And it'd be very frustrating. In the old days, I would just get upset, pissed, and bye-bye, see you later. We're going to fight. But I've learned everyone's going through their stuff. And so sometimes, like legitimately, they can only give you what they can give you at that moment. You're like, I totally get it. That this is it. This is what I can give you. This is it, and it's legitimate. You're like, okay, got it. Now, one of my examples is I have a friend. I'm not gonna say the friend's names. I'm not gonna say their names to protect the innocent because they all mean well, and she's a person who means well. I've known her for a long time. Um, we don't talk every day. We're not, we don't we message a lot, and we try social media and stuff, but we don't talk every day. But she knows kind of what's going on kind of in my life. But there are times when I'll get a message or something and it's a little, as I call, tone deaf, where I'm like, if things were regular, if things were normal, quote unquote, normal for me, that wouldn't be an issue. Something you text me or say something to me. Um, but sometimes, but in this situation, it's tone deaf. I'm going through, like right now in my work, because I realize this is my world. And my world, what I'm going through is a lot of caregiving, as many of you know. Dealing with my mother, we just lost my stepdad, I'm dealing with an aunt now. Like I have a lot going on in this space where I'm trying to manage several households, several businesses. I am trying to catch up with stuff. I mean, I'm super, super busy. I love my friends. I love my family. I love everybody. But schedules do not always meet up. They just don't. Because you have your life also, they have their lives, and it doesn't meet up. And time will pass. And so I always try to remind myself a lot of places they're coming from is from love, and they actually want to see me. And I totally appreciate that. But sometimes usually it's on their terms. They don't meet me where I'm at. And I'll get these letters like, "Oh, I really want to see you. When can I see you?" And I'm gonna see you. Like, and I'm like, I'll go back to you. And I'm very expressive. I will tell you what's going on. I will tell you what I can offer or not offer. I will tell you what I need. And that's the title of this thing here. We're gonna talk about that in a second too. But you kind of ignore it and still push your agenda, which is not bad. It's just that you're just like, it's because your world is very in, so you have your own stuff going on in your own world. So you're reaching out to me, who normally in my friends and family life, I'm there for them. And normally I'm usually there for any reason. But I can't always be there these days. I'm literally physically taken away by real big stuff. And so at first I was like, am I being a bad friend? I'm like, no, I'm not being a bad friend. I'm in something that's very unique. And when you're in caregiving mode, anybody who's a caregiver will tell you. If you want to know more about that, I'm doing a caregiving chat on Zoom uh this weekend, June 24th, on Saturday. I think it's June 24th, Saturday. And I'm going to talk about all this stuff because it's very interesting. And so when you're in it, and everybody's situations are different, every caregiving situation is different. The time is different. And so my life is in this. Well, people are well meaning, of course, and they'll try to tell you what you need to do. And it's like, you got to relax. You got to do this. You gotta... All of us like, okay, I will get there when I can. I understand all that. But in some cases, that's just not happening. When you have a baby, or when you're dealing with an aging parent who can't move, or whatever you're doing, it's a whole everything. All the rules are thrown out the window. And yes, it's self care is great and everything. But I did a show on this earlier. You can go back in my other episodes. Sometimes self care doesn't look like the way it would normally look like either. Self care could be 15 minutes sitting out in the sun in your garden. Self care could be I'm having pizza for dinner because I really want some pizza, and someone sends you money to say, "Here, I'm treating you for pizza." I mean, self care looks very. It depends on. It could depend on any single day. It could be a half hour of crying because you've held it in for the last day. Like self care looks very different. But when it comes, I talked about that already on another show. But what goes on with your friends and family who have their own lives going on and they're trying to intersect yours, I always say you need to listen, actively listen, and see what's going on with them, and not so much impose what you think they should be doing. So another situation, another longtime friend who I love, who's coming to town, love her to pieces. We don't talk every day. She knows one of the major things that happened, two major things that happened, but she doesn't know the day-to-day stuff. She has no idea I had another emergency happen last week and all that stuff. And she's texting me, "Well, I'm gonna come to town next weekend and we're gonna have dinner. I want to do this and I want this." And I just like literally the texts were coming, were just coming at me. And I'm like, "Girl, slow down. I'm declining all that. You don't understand." She has no idea I have shows that weekend. There's no idea I have Zooms that weekend. She has no idea. I said I'm available for dinner or a brunch. She has no idea. But she's like, "What's she going to think? I want you to do some other. You have to do." I'm like, "Girl," and I say, "Girl, I know you love me. That's why I didn't go off. I know you love me. It's coming from a place of you just want to hang out with me. I totally get it." But I said, "But I'm going to hold for space than you are right now, and I can only do that." Well, yeah, you can't be, and you have to get out there and blah blah. You know, like, okay, first of all, you don't know what's going on, and I told her because I'm very clear. We're very clear. We know each other 30 some years. I said, "I'm tired of people telling me what I need to do and not listening to what I say I want or need. I'm telling you what I need. Your job is, yes, James, I can give that to you, or no, I can't right now, but I love you and I'll talk to you another time." Not trying to convince me to do all this stuff that you want me to do. That's your thing because it's like you're in a whole different world, girl. And this particular person was also a caregiver. So she's done. And so now she's out of that. So now she's free. So like you're just in a whole different world than I am. And you need to respect that. Because I respect yours and I respect mine. And like you're not here day to day. You don't know what's going on. You have no idea how hard it is to get help. It's not as easy to get help as you think. Everybody's just like, well, let's hire somebody. There's a cultural things, there's monetary things, there's people who just don't show up. You hire them, they don't show up. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, and my brother and I both have actually realized everything doesn't happen smoothly as you think it does. Like I said, it doesn't always just happen. Some days are smooth, and some days it isn't. You know, and I think, but I just tell people, you're not involved. You can't come in as a Tasmanian devil and just like, and so but I've learned to stay calm. But that's something also that was bothering me is that people ask me how I'm doing. And I go, I can't get to my feelings because I'm so busy managing everybody else's feelings. That's a crazy thing too. Everyone has their feelings about whatever is going on. And I'm so busy like either calming them down or reassuring them or, or blocking them or, I mean, I have no problem telling people how I feel, but it's kind of like, I can't even get to how I feel because you're so upset and you're so happy and you're so this and you're so that. I'm sitting here going, I'm trying to stay calm this whole time because I have so much in front of me that I'm just trying. I feel like a robot sometimes. I'm just like trying to handle all things that are right in front of me and that's it. But everybody has their stuff. It's crazy. It's like, it is exhausting. There are times I'm exhausted. That's the other thing too. Is like, I'm actually physically exhausted. I'm older, not as in shape. It's like people don't understand. It's like, I'm not 22 years old where we just wake up and I'm ready to go at any time. And I was talking to somebody who I was reunited with also, another person who doesn't give a shit what I'm going through. And they don't have to. We're not close friends or anything, but They want to get together when they want to get together. And it's never the same time I do. Whenever I try to plan something, it never works. But when they want to get together, I was like, I'm done with that person too. I'm just like, good luck to you. We'll never get together. We'll never get together because you have a whole different agenda than I do. And that didn't work either. But I just feel like I practice what I preach. When someone tells me they're going through a hard time or whatever they're going through, I try to be respectful and follow wherever they are. If all you can do is talk on the phone every once in a while, I had a friend who was like that. We had a friendship, we were together every day, and then he dropped me for his girlfriend, now wife. But there's a while there because of his schedule. Um, his schedule was just combobulated. So when there were times when you go, James, are you free for a FaceTime? I said, if I was, I'm like, yes, let's do it. And we talk, have a good time, but I'm meeting him where he's at. He asked for this. Can I provide that for him? Yes, I can. I'm not trying. Oh, well, why did we do this? Why can you do this? You need to change your job. Like I'm not. That's not my business. He has his life set a certain way. You have your life set a certain way. I have my life set a certain way. All I need you to do, especially if you're not a day-to-day person in my life, just go, James, I'm coming to town. What can we do? Not this, or you're not that old, and you got to take care of yourself. And okay, so I guess we'll have brunch because that's more your speed. It's like, come on, folks. I don't have time for all of you. I really have to. Because I'm the first one to say, fuck it, see you next time. I have no problem saying that at all. But I'm trying not to do that because I would love to see these people and have every time. But I remember I was going through heavy stuff, and this person was going through something that's major for them. And I remember I finally got a chance to call them, and I let them go on for about 2 hours. I was like, okay, let them do the whole thing, and they just and they were like, I was there for them. I did it. So I met them where they were. They couldn't be there for me in a form, so I did let that go. So I said, well, I have this couple of hours. I can be there for them. I have some friends who call me with all their problems all the time, and if they don't hear from me in a couple of days, it's not that they're checking on me. I mean, they can play it off like they are, but that's not it. And it's not even upsetting anymore. I just go, you want to talk about you? That's what's going on here. Got it. So when I'm free, then I call and let you talk about you. And I feel like, and that's part of my friendship duties, part of it. And sometimes I don't, sometimes to be very honest, I don't want to talk about my situation. I don't want to deal with my mother. I don't, it's like, please tell me what your problems are to get my mind off it. So sometimes it does work. So now I mean them where they are, but it's actually feeding me a certain way too. It's like, okay, whew, okay, got it. Um, but but none of my friends are like that. But I mean, but a lot of times I'm managing. So I just tell people, you have to meet if someone's telling you I need this on Saturday at this time, can you function then? Do that? Yes, perfect. Let's do that. And it may not be exactly what you wanted to do and what you were thinking we were going to do, but you're helping out a friend. And like I said, and chances are, if you're like I said, some of my friends are good friends. We are good together. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So it's a lot of work, kids. I'm just thinking that. So I'm just telling everybody out there, meet people where they are. But just like let them, if they're telling you I need this, they don't always need you to tell them what they need to do and what they should do. And also, we don't need that. So, but again, my caregiver Zoom is coming up June 24th, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sign up for it. We'll have a good time. You go to JLJ Media for all that stuff. But we're going to have a good time talking about it. I'm James Lott Jr., Certified Life Coach. A lot of help.com is the website. This show is everywhere. YouTube, JLJ Media. And I will talk to you next time.